Hello everyone. My girlfriend's making fun of me. So today we're going to continue playing around with Remix.run, which is a, what is Remix.run? It's a new framework for building full stack websites using React and some new cool stuff that the guys behind React Router and a couple other famous projects have done. It looks really promising for solving some UX issues I've been having on a side project. And I have now not been working on this for so long that I no longer remember where I was or what we were doing. So this should be really fun to continue. The main idea is that it's the side project is the thumbs up, thumbs down emojis that I have on my blog, in my emails, etc., where people can vote on what they think about a certain piece of content. And the UX of the follow-up survey, where you click on one of those and it asks you, oh, why did you vote the way that you did, is kind of terrible right now. So I'm going to try to fix it. I'm going to try using Remix to fix it. And I think as far as I got last time was a form that renders with basically zero design and tries to send the things that you fill out to a post page or some sort. So we're gonna try to continue from there and see where we get in about an hour or so. Hopefully we can get it working and then we can go, stuff. We'll see where we get. Let's go. All right, so I'm going to make myself smaller and I'm gonna stop looking at myself because it's weird and minimize this thing. Okay, so we are gonna go. I don't remember what this is all about, but let's do git add dot, git commit -m. Stuff changed, don't remember. And we're going to yarn. Should we try to upgrade dependencies? I don't know how fast Remix is advancing these days. So I am on Remix.run version 113. What is currently on npm? Let's see, Remix on npm is 122. That seems like a safe enough thing to update. So let's go yarn upgrade interactive, and we're gonna what? Why is there no yarn file? Oh, it's an npm file. Okay. npm I. How do I upgrade things with npm? Why am I using npm? I think I'm using npm because that's what the instructions said when we were starting out. It said npm. Let's do npm update. Does that work? Is that a thing? What is the upgrade interactive version of npm? npm update seems to be something. Okay. And then I know that we need to go to, what do I need? I need to open, I need to find the test URL because I don't have that right now. Okay, so npm update did update all of my packages. So we now have more stuff. Okay, git commit -a-m update remix. And then we can go with npm start. We should get something, no? What is it? npm dev, npm run dev. So we're gonna get, and I'm using the Netlify deploy thingy because the current project is being hosted on Netlify, so that's what I'm using. And I am kind of lazy. I don't want to deal with moving this to a different hosting environment right now. I just want to get it working first, reuse the same URL structure that I've had before, and then if that works, we can later move it and change it around. Okay, the homepage is not loading. Why is the homepage not loading? Why is everything... Model Remix has no exported member. Why? Why is everything broken all of a sudden? Great. So we broke everything by upgrading because Remix no longer has all of these things. Why? Why would Remix do this to us? Okay. Does that mean I have to literally restart the whole project from scratch? Like nothing is being exported anymore. Oh, node modules remix doesn't even have index DTS is empty. That's cool. Cool, cool, cool. Cool, 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 cool. Let's go see what the hell is going on. Is there an upgrade path? Remix.run. Is there docs upgrade from 1.1 to upgrade? No results for update. Remix.run. React router contributing FAQ, gotchas, philosophy guides. Fantastic. Everything is broken. Hey Aryan, how are you doing today? Why is everything broken now? Remix, let's go. Remix.run. Do they have an index DTS here? Nope. They do now have a yarn, okay. What does this upgrade say? This release fixes a few pesky bugs. Okay, let's go look at other releases. Alright. Yeah, I used to be on Emacs, Aryan, but I stopped because I got tired of fiddling with my editor too much. Let's see. Why is... Let's see. V1.2, is there a... Are there upgrade instructions? How big is a 1.2 release? This is an experimental pre-release. Okay, yes, yes, yes. We've been plugging away at a few important breakdown of all changes. We are doubling down on the power and improving the simplicity, integrating your server with your app. Okay, fine. Single file server builds, whatever. Whatever. I just want to know why nothing is importing anymore. Oh, now it's back? No? What? What? Why did everything break? Issues. TypeScript? Live reload, no. Okay. What can we do about this? You know what? I'm just gonna downgrade Remix because I have no idea what's going on. Or rather, what if we go to, let's go to root.tsx and we say, let's see, meta function doesn't find it anywhere. Awesome. Cool, cool, cool. Okay. I'm going to downgrade to, okay, let's try npm install again. That's a good suggestion, Nikit. npm install, ls node modules, remix, index dts. What if we cat this? Is there stuff there? Okay, there's stuff there. So at least we should now have things. What if I reopen the project so that SparkJoy, remix SparkJoy, npm run dev. Let's see what happens. Why is this so annoyed? Okay, now it's there. Cool. Thank you, Nikit. I have no idea why that was being a problem. And I'm gonna close all of these things. So go package.json, that's that. Oh, it's not. Let's rename this to remix SparkJoy. Okay, so we have that. And if we go to root tsx, this is where we have the no scroll restoration and stuff like that. If we go to index.tsx, this is where we have welcome to remix and all of that stuff. Let's rename this to welcome to SparkJoy just to see what happens. All right, so we got that. Now we are going to need to find the test project or the test URL. So I'm going to find that by going into the existing front end and open the env helper. So env helper should be here somewhere. Env helper, and actually I'm gonna make a new window. So I'm gonna have both windows so we can crib while we're doing stuff. Let's make this. Come on. Okay. Cool. This is gonna open SparkJoy Remix, random coding, Spark Remix, SparkJoy. Okay. So this is the server URL. The server URL. The dev server is this one, right? Yes. So we're gonna go to this server, and we're gonna fetch. Yeah, we're gonna query the server, which should give us a list of all of the widgets. Perfect. So we're gonna use this live stream widget ID. And then where can I go? Let's go on my blog. Okay, let's say this one, Gatsby serverless functions. So there should be a thumbs up here. I'm gonna give myself a thumbs up. That tells me the URL, and we're gonna change this to say this widget ID and the localhost, which is on, where is it? Localhost 3000. So if we go to localhost 3000, we should get 404 not found. Awesome. Why is that? Thumbs up, blah. Okay. So let's see, what did we put in the routes? Why is no modules open? So in the routes, we have widget ID, vote type, TSX, which is either thumbs down, thumbs up, or thumbs down. Now, what is this doing? This is creating a GraphQL client, add support for fetching individual widget ID on server. The loader, okay, that's a data loader function. Question should render, and the feedback route should do stuff here. Why is that not doing anything? I'm also not sure where exactly the 404 is coming from, which is frustrating. So we're going to try to console log some stuff. So let's see. ls app, then it has routes, right? What is entry client and entry TSX? Not sure what that is. We have index TSX, and then we have $widget ID, which should be parameterized. Basically takes that portion of the URL as a parameter, but it doesn't seem to be doing anything. So we have new GraphQL client, fetch widget. Let's add a console log here. Yeah, let's console log and say found widget ID, and we're going to print $widget ID. So it should be coming in as a parameter. We'll see if we actually get here. So this is an async function fetch widget. Actually, no. Individual widget ID on server. Okay, loader. This is where we're at. So here, console log loading data, and we are going to console log the params, and we'll see what happens. So I think this should have reloaded, and now when I reload this page, oh, let me zoom this in a little bit, like that. So when I reload this page, we should see a console log there. We get loading data, the widget ID, and the vote type. Perfect. That is exactly what we needed. So we get the loading. Okay, so then are we console logging here? or rather, are we saying that widget wasn't found? Widget wasn't found. Is that the problem? Yes, widget wasn't found. Perfect. So we're making progress. We said, let's see. So why wasn't the widget found? We are doing fetch widget, const data, all widget, unparsed widget, all widget found. Okay, so let's see. Console log grabbed data, and we're gonna, let's see if we're getting a response from the GraphQL server at least. Okay, we do get a response from the server. That's great. Now, what is the server? Okay, so then here we say console log found widget, and we're gonna console log the widget. That's I'm calling it the widget because I had poor naming choices a while back, but it's basically the thumbs up, thumbs down. One of those is a widget. It needs a better name. So it found the widget undefined. Why is it undefined? Because we're looking at what is, so 7AD, let's see. What is the widget ID we're looking for? Widget ID is 7AD blah, and if we console log all of the widgets, data all widget, what do we get? So we're looking for widget ID 7AD blah 7AD08F56. Oh, interesting. I think I copy pasted something wrong. Okay, so that's why we were getting a 404. Nice. So now, okay, now it works. Now we're fetching the right stuff. Amazing. So we get a, what do we get? We get a URL that says, or we get a page that says you liked this thing, and then asks why did you like it, if you have a question about it, and would you recommend this to a friend. Cool. Now let's see if posting this data works. All of this is pretty confusing, but let's see. We type some stuff in and then we submit. Oh, nice. So submitting did work and we got to save feedback, which is awesome. Cool. Now save feedback is doing what? Oh, I know what we need to do. So now what we need to do is after we fetch the widget, so the way this worked before was Vue.js. So the way it worked is that on page load, it would save your thumbs up or thumbs down, and then after you answered everything else, it would update your vote with the responses to your what was it? With responses to the questions. So what we're gonna try next is to actually make that vote. Yes. So where are we? Allow changing your vote. On use mutation widget vote query. What is the widget vote query? So it mutates widget vote with a user ID, widget ID, and all of these other things. Okay, so we're gonna do that. How do we do that? So this is fetch widget. So we fetches metadata about the thing that was feedbacked. And then we need to save the blah. Okay, so here's what we can do. We're gonna move this and say we're gonna throw a 404 in both of these cases. So we return 404 if the URL is wrong. 404 if wrong URL. If there's no widget, we throw. Oh, come on. What? Stop doing this. Format document with prettier. How do I update this to use prettier? Command Shift P. What is it again? ESLint, no. Format. Command Shift P. Format document with. Format document. Format selection. Default format. Preferences. Default. Ah, for fuck's sake. Okay. I don't know how to set this from ESLint to prettier, and I don't know why it's set to ESLint. Okay. Not found, and then we say saves initial thumbs up down vote. So we're gonna say await save vote with, we're gonna say send the widget, and we're gonna send params.vote type. Okay, so here we're now gonna say function save vote is going to have it's gonna get the full widget, and it's gonna get the vote type, which is a thumbs up or thumbs down, right? And that should be happy. And this needs to be an async function. So now this async function is going to run a query or a mutation, which is gonna, how are we gonna do this? Yeah, let's go. Const mutation equals GQL. And I'm gonna copy this thing. Okay. Mutation widget vote. Oh, come on, just format with, oh, configure default format. Oh, prettier. Yay. Okay, so we now have a mutation, and I think I can do it this same way. Yeah, let's see. Let's see if we can actually do it the same way. Mutation, which is going to get a vote ID, which is a string. So we're gonna send a, we already have a, what is it? A GraphQL client from GraphQL request, which is a relatively minimal GraphQL client. And we're going to just, let's see if that just works. I think it will, but fingers crossed, right? So we save the vote, const data, and then we're going to return a data.voteid. Console log data, just to make sure we know what we're actually getting back. And then we're gonna use that vote ID as a hidden field in our form so that it gets submitted to the next page. So the next page can then update your vote with the actual feedback that you wrote. So 404 if wrong array, saves initial blah. Vote ID equals await save vote. And yeah, let's go back one page. Come on. User ID or required types. Oh yeah, we need to actually provide variables. So client request, what does it get? It gets document and then variables. So our variables are going to be what? We need to provide user ID like that. How do we provide variables? Let's go look at GraphQL request. Oh, is it from Prisma? Nice. I totally forgot about that. And let's see, mutation, variables, dollar title. Okay, so we just pass in the variables normally and they get translated with the dollar signs and everything. That's nice. So our variables are, just do it like this. Const variables equals, we need user ID, which comes from widget.userid. Then we need widget ID, which comes from widget.widgetID. We need thumbs up, which is if vote type equals thumbs up. See, this is an example of, now that I look back at how I originally designed this GraphQL API, it's pretty terrible. Thumbs down, vote type equals thumbs down. Then we have the voter comes as crap. What is it in my, let's look it up here. So if I go to tech letter, I have a secret trick to find out what these things look like. So vote thing, this gives me a URL here. So the voter, it comes from params. So we get the voter and instance of joy. This is also a URL param. So we need to pass those in. Vote type, vote type, voter string, and instance of joy, which is also a string. And then here we need to, what does a loader function get? It gets data function args, response, promise, data function args, request, context, params. I'm just curious if params get, let's do this. Let's do empty for now. And I'm going to console log the params up here. Console log params, and we'll see what we get. So where was I? Application error. Here we have instance of joy, and let's add voter equals Swiss stream. So we see voter. Okay, so it doesn't get into params. Does it get into a query? Nope. Props. Okay, let's see. Remix loader function query params. Data loading. URL search params are the portion. Okay, so where is the query string? Query string. It's in request.url. Okay. So we're gonna get those here. We get the request, and then we're going to pass in here. We're gonna get const yes, we're gonna do it like this. Const URL equals new URL request.url. get query params, which are optional. And we say const voter equals url dot search params dot get voter. Const instance of joy equals url dot search params dot get instance of joy. And then we pass those in here. Voter and instance of joy. And now, do we get them here? Can we see them? Oh, I'm not console logging anymore, am I? Ah, yes. It needs to be, this needs to allow being null. Okay. That make it happy. Console log data. Let's console log variables as well. Okay, so we get the variables. That looks correct. And oh, we also get the response. Perfect. So we are actually now saving this on the server. And I can show you that we're saving it on the server by going to AWS Management Console. Let me log in. See if anyone's commenting on the Twitters. So if we go to DynamoDB, it becomes your default experience. Great, great, great. We can deal with that later. Tables. So this would be Spark Joy votes dev 2. And if we go to, where do I see? How do I see the content now? Damn it. Okay. DynamoDB, just how do I see the content now? It is not easier to manage my resources now. Oh, because I need to do actions. What? Explore table items. Oh, there we go. Right. So if we go for widget ID, we said this one. No, is it SparkJoy votes dev 1? SparkJoy votes dev. And we query for widget ID. Oh, okay. Widget ID and vote ID. Let's see. Run. There we go. So we now get a vote that we created. It says it was a thumbs up. Swiss stream is the voter, and there's a URL there for other things. Cool. We got that. So that means votes are now saving. So we can say git status, git add dot, git commit -a-m, saving votes. So now that the votes are saving, we're going to fix this. So the data actually comes back as, god damn it. Oh, because it's named like this. So it comes back as widget vote that has a vote ID that then has stuff for us. No, like that. Save, and we return data widget vote.vote ID. Okay. Now we're gonna need to pass this. Okay. Okay. Cool, cool, cool. So we get the vote ID and we're going to return it here. So we return the vote ID from our loader, right? Which means we need to update our here loader data. Now it needs to say that we also have the vote ID, which is a string. Okay, so we get all of that. Now we're going to pass it down here. So we have the H1, then we have the form, and we have a button, and we're going to have input type equals hidden with the name of vote ID, which is going to have a value of data.voteid. Cool. What else do we need to pass through? I guess we'll see what else we need to pass through. So then, to save the feedback, what do we need? Save feedback here. We get the form, we console log the form data, and we're going to say, thanks, you're the best. In the meantime, during this action, we also have to actually save the feedback to the server, or in this case, it's my Lambda that talks to a DynamoDB table. Let's see. What is this going to do? Right. So I'm gonna go here and find the Vue.js. Where do we save the feedback? Blah, this is super complicated for no good reason. This is the kind of stuff that Remix made a lot easier for us. Thank you view. Where do we show the thank you view? Use save vote. Ready. So that saves the vote. Aha. Save widget feedback query. Save widget feedback query. This is the thing that we need. So we're gonna say await save feedback, which we don't know yet what it's going to take. And then we create a function, async function save feedback, saves feedback to server, and this is going to again, so we're gonna say const mutation equals GQL, which we import from GraphQL request. We paste in the mutation, so we have that. I guess we don't need to parse this every time, so we can say const save feedback mutation equals GQL blah, like that, because I don't think we need to redefine this every time we are running the action. And I'm not sure exactly how this gets compiled, but we probably don't need to implement it every time. So we say here, save vote mutation, and we say const save vote mutation equals blah. See, we're gonna use the same pattern everywhere. And then for the query, where are you query? We're gonna say fetch widgets, and fetch widget query is all of this, and we say we're running the fetch widget query. Okay, and then in the save feedback we have save feedback mutation where we save the feedback. And then where do we get the client? Okay, I'm going to copy paste this here for now. Client graph is a GraphQL client. Nope, GraphQL client comes from there. we say const data equals client.request save feedback mutation with variables, and then we're going to console log the data so we can see what we get, and we say const variables equals, what do we need? We need the widget ID, we need the vote ID, we need the vote type. Wow, that is silly. And we need the answers. Really? Yep. And we need the answers. Why did I do it this way? This is silly. Why am I... My girlfriend says I did it this way because I'm stupid. Fair. Harsh but fair. So let's see. We're gonna need to pass in. We have the widget ID already. So we can say widget ID comes from params.widget ID, right? And we pass in widget ID as a string. Then we're going to need the vote ID, which is going to come from form data, which was somewhere. So actually, let's just pass in the form data. Yeah. So form data. And we're also going to pass in the vote type. So params widget ID, vote, actually no, form data is going to have all of that. So form data and promise form data. Form data. Okay. Okay. Form data is form data. It comes from Remix. And we're going to console log the form data here so we can see it, and params.widget ID. Okay, and we say if the params widget ID doesn't exist, we're going to throw. If params widget ID doesn't exist, throw, how did we throw a 404 error here? 404, 404, 404. Throw new response not found. Like that. And then form data is not assignable property of type note. Property fields is missing but required. What? Okay. I'm using the wrong this thing here. So which form data is this using? Okay, let's try this way. Form data, Remix.run. That. Console log form data. Okay. Now let's go back here. We reload this page, and I think we're gonna need to add vote type here. So say input type equals hidden, name equals vote type, value equals data.vote type. Okay. So we got this. Reload the page, type in some stuff, enter. Vote ID is not defined. Great. But look at this. We got the form data. Nice. Cool. And then here, when we are rendering the question, instead of prefixing it as field props.id, we're gonna prefix it with question. No, let's keep field. Actually, it's fine. We're gonna keep field because that's going to be consistent with what I had before. It's not the best, but it's going to at least look the same, which is going to be easier for data analysis later if I ever do it. So we say const fields equals form data dot fields and node form data. Okay, let's look at Remix docs and see how form data works. Form data. Oh, we need to do dot get all. How can I have get all? Okay. Form data dot get all. Cool. Okay, so if we do form dot data dot get all, then we say, let's delete that thing because it's silly. Get the form data, and we're gonna say this is an object that has key string that maps to an array of strings. So let's console log the data now, just to see what it looks like. I'll go back, submit. Yes, vote ID is not defined. Now we get empty. Why is everything empty? The form data, okay. Append delete entries. The first value associated get all, an array of all the values with a given key. Form data keys, iterator allowing form data values. Great. Let's get entries from form data. So form data dot entries, which will be an array of key name string and value and then string like that. So it's going to be an array of strings and it's going to be an array of those. Console log form data. We go back, submit. What do we get? Array iterator. Perfect. Why? Form data dot entries. Let's do array dot from form data dot entries. No. Okay, let's console log here. Console log form data dot entries. What does the? Oh, it's just an iterator. Fucking hate this. Da da da. Mm-hmm. How do I turn this into an array? Form data dot entries to array. Array dot from form data. Okay. Array dot from form data. Let's see what that does. Okay. Cool. That gives us what we need. Okay. So let's see. What is this complaining about? Okay. Form data entry value. Cool. Let's say this is called form values instead, because that's going to be easier, less confusing. So then the form values are that. Actually, it's going to be easier if we pass in the form data. Form data, and we say console log form values are going to be so vote ID is form data dot get vote ID, and vote type is going to be form data dot get vote type, and answers are going to be const answers equals so because we don't know exactly which fields we're looking for, we need to parse out everything that's not a vote ID or a vote type, right? Yes. So we are going to say this is object from entries of array from form data filtered by name value. Name. Why is name deprecated? Stupid. Okay, so we get the name and we say name is not vote ID. Yeah, is not vote ID, and name is not vote type. Like that. Filter hidden fields from form data. And then here in answers, we say JSON stringify of answers, and what we get from that. Okay, now let's see if this works. We go back, we submit. Form data.get is not a function. What did I do? Oh, because now I'm not passing the right form data anymore. Okay, and now oh, we should actually console log the form data as well, so we know what we are voting on. Console log form data, and then blah to submit. Thanks, you're the best. It's saved. Sweet. Promise pending. We need to await this. So let's go back and try again. Submit. Cool. We actually saved it correctly, it looks like. So if we go look at the vote ID, let's see if it's saved in the database correctly. So we have the same widget ID, we take the vote ID, we run this, and yes, here it is. Nice. Okay, so this is working, and I've now been streaming for just about an hour. So should I stop while I'm ahead? Let's see. Let's remove the console logs. Let's just await this. Okay. So I'm going to say git status, git commit -a -mem, save, vote, and feedback. Trying remix. Cool. So I'm going to, let's see, does this work? So that was it for today. We got actually all of the functionality working with Remix. We played around with integrating an existing GraphQL server with Remix's way of integrating data and forms and all of those things. It seems to work now. I ran into a few problems with just being unfamiliar with fundamental JavaScript libraries because we almost never use those anymore these days. So that was fun. Next time I'm going to work on making this a little bit prettier, and then we're going to deploy to production and actually swap it out because I think this is going to work better than what I have so far. So thanks everyone for watching, and I'll see you